welcome back. So it's another Meatless Monday, and today I am going to do a butternut squash pasta. So you need a pound of butternut squash. If you buy it whole, you need to peel it, dice it, de-seed it, and if you're like me, I buy it pre-cut because I like the easy way, and I just dump it in a bowl. You need one small onion. You can leave it in wedges or dice it up. Either way is up to you. And then you need 5 whole peeled garlic cloves. And then what you're gonna do is take about a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and mix it all together. Put it in a baking sheet and roast it for about 30 minutes at 425. So we're gonna start off by preheating our oven to 425. And I have got the butternut squash. I've peeled my garlic, and I have about 1 small onion in a bowl here. So now I'm just going to add the half a teaspoon of salt, pepper, and the 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Give it a good toss so it's evenly coated, and put it in the baking sheet. Once the oven's ready, put it in, let it roast for 30 minutes. You're also going to need a pound of pasta. Any pasta of your choice, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use penne rigate. And so you're going to get your pot, a good sized pot, with water, salted water. And go ahead and boil your pasta while your squash is cooking. Now, of course, the pasta is going to get done before the squash. When you drain it, make sure you save about a cup of the starchy water from the cooked pasta, because you're going to need it for the sauce. The other thing you're going to need is a half a cup of milk, 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. Since it's a Meatless Monday, we're not going to use chicken, and your blender. Okay, so the oven is preheated. I have the squash, garlic and onions, salt, pepper, and olive oil spread out evenly in my pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in on 425 for about 30 minutes. Set my timer, and then as you can see, my water is boiling, so I'm going to throw in my pasta and let that cook for about 12 minutes. I don't do the full 13 because I like it al dente. Be careful when you're opening your pasta or you get it all across the stove. That's just not ideal. Alright, got that all cleaned up and in the pot boiling. So now I'm going to let it boil, stirring occasionally for about 12 minutes. Alright, so my pasta's done. Put it in the strainer, and then what I do is I run cold water over it so that it doesn't stick, and the heating process stops so it doesn't keep cooking. Should have about 15 minutes left on your squash at this point. And do not forget, before you drain it, to make sure you save about a cup of that starchy water. Alright, so now you pull out your roasted vegetables. You can let it sit for a minute or two if you want. And then you transfer it to the blender. Okay, so now we've got it in the blender. We're going to add the half a cup of milk, the 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, and then to start off, half of the starchy water from the pasta. Now, if you forgot to get the pasta water, no worries. What you can do is make a slurry. And to do that, you want to take about a cup of hot water and a 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch and a little salt, and stir it together, and that will have the same effect as using the pasta water. So now that we have all that in there, we're going to go ahead and blend it till it is basically like a sauce. Okay, now I'm just going to take and pour the sauce we just made over the pasta. Give it a good stir. And then if you're fancy, you can add some chopped up parsley as a garnish. And what I do, because my little mice like cheese, so I always top their pasta with grated Parmesan cheese. Alright, and then I just added some Parmesan cheese and they're ready to eat. So there you have it. Roasted butternut squash pasta for Meatless Monday.